I see it. You see it. We all know Dave Filoni is a thief and a hack. Howdy all, I am Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome, my friends, to the end of my reviews of Ahsoka Season 1. We are here, we did it, Episode 8, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Here's how we're going to start this, guys. You saw it with the opening clip. You see it right here with this title. Dave Filoni's a hack. He's a thief. He thinks he's clever, but he's not. All he does is show himself to be the uncreative piece of excrement that he is. He rips off Peter Jackson's iconic Argonath shot from Fellowship of the Ring, and now he's ripping off C.S. Lewis, thinking he's clever. Yeah, I'm gonna show the Lion Witch of the Wardrobe, but the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. No, you're not clever. You're retarded. The clapping seals think it's cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. It's like Lion Witch and Wardrobe. The rest of us are going like this. The rest of the world is going, oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. His thievery, his mockery of things far grander and better done than anything he's ever shat out his entire life. It's just the beginning. This entire episode is ridiculous and stupid. Anybody that thinks that Fat Thrawn is actually Grand Admiral Thrawn, you're a moron, because he's a moron on this. Breaking rules left and right. Now Sabine's a Jedi. Sabine can use the Force because she wanted it enough. You even get a little bit of backstory of why Ahsoka and her had a breakup. Ezra gets saved like the manzel that he is, right in bitch seat on the rat dog horse thing. And then, this is some of the worst choreography I've ever seen. Rosario Dawson should be ashamed of herself for even thinking she could do this. You're gonna see it. I'm gonna show you how bad all this is. And in the end, once again, Dave Filoni screws over his zombies, but they don't know it because they're morons. There are certain points in this that are supposed to be payoff for the zombies and payoff for people who have been going, oh, I love this, oh, I love that. How you enjoying your Balin reveal? Oh, wait a minute. There was none. We know nothing about Balin Skull. And all he's doing, and by he I mean Filoni, is setting up a possible ripoff of the ultimate big bad of the EU. We'll get to it. It's going to be towards the end. Stick with me. Let's get this train wreck started. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. What a waste of Claudia Black. Claudia Black should have been Night Sister Girl Boss. That would have been great. That would have possibly saved the show just a little bit with somebody who knows how to be a bad guy. Somebody who knows how to do choreography. Somebody who's athletic. Claudia Black, what a waste of her as one of the Night Sister Girl Boss great mothers. What a waste. Anyway, okay. We start off still on the point where the Chimera is humping Space Minister Tirith. How do I put this? Thrawn is now preparing for the imminent assault of Ahsoka. Oh my God! There's one non-Jedi and two try-hard Jedis, and he's so afraid of them. He's preparing for their assault. He tells he tells face mask stormtrooper man, hope you liked him. He does nothing except say yes my lord the entire time. Yes my admiral, whatever it is. tells him to send off a couple of TIE fighters to check out what's going to go on, to find out how the raid on Ahsoka has really gone, and to stall them even more. He then turns to Night Sister Girl Boss and says, "You need to be ready to do whatever it takes to buy us more time." Wait a minute. I thought your entire plan last week was to stall for time, and that whole episode, that whole waste of space time running battle thing was the big waste their time plan. No, you just wasted our time. No, we gotta waste more time. Gotta waste more time while we bring down the giant space donut of destiny to dock with the Chimera and get out. You notice they haven't called this the Chimera once in the entire series? I don't think they've said Chimera once. You can't even give people that, can you, Dave? Right, so with Night Sister Girl Boss ordered to delay as much as possible, Thrawn says to the great mother of Night Sister Girl Bosses, give her some power, or give her power. Well, he doesn't say it, but they say, we're going to give you power. And you saw it in the transition clip. They juice her up with fake force magic. And they give her a stupid sword. Yes, she gets a nice glowing green sword that will obviously be enough to fight with a lightsaber, because you see this shit coming a mile away. We're going to get Ahsoka versus Night Sister Girl Boss. Yay! Now, as we leave this, you see behind Thrawn, 2 TIE fighters drop out. And remember, only 2 TIE fighters. He only sent 2 TIE fighters against a non-Jedi, 2 tryhards, and a bunch of shell dudes who ride around in shell cars, and a dumbass ship that really isn't good for space combat unless there's a gunner in the back seat. But he only sends 2 TIE fighters. Yet behind him you can see there's an entire squadron of TIE fighters. No, we're just going to send 2. No, send them all. Send them all. And end it now. Send them all. An entire squadron of TIE fighters, and this is over. And then again, where were the TIE fighters before? Seriously, why didn't you send the TIE fighters last episode to just wipe everything out? They're TIE fighters. They don't have anything that could stop them. Because you got 2 tryhard Jedi. Because now Sabine is also a tryhard Jedi, like Ezra. And you have Ahsoka, who is not a Jedi and isn't honestly that strong. Ahsoka's not that strong. Let's be honest. She's mid. Completely mid. But Adam, she beat Darth Maul. I've seen that fight. She barely beats him. A lot of environmental issues there. She barely beats him. She maybe holds her own. All right? No. All right. So, now, remember last episode, I said, how are we going to have the Team Ahsoka? We'll just call them Team Ahsoka. Team Ahsoka. Man, there should be a lot of tension right now. We got to hurry up. We got to get to Thrawn. We got to stop him from leaving. No. When we return to Team Ahsoka, Team Tryhard, I like it better. Team Tryhard. Team Tryhard, they're playing nanny ship to the Shell People car caravan. They're just effing along. Oh, why? Because Ezra, who, Mr. My ally is the Force, I don't need anything until 10 minutes later when I actually need a blaster so I don't die, is building a lightsaber. We gotta give Ezra time to build another tryhard lightsaber, which is reminiscent of Kanan's. Don't you hear? Here you go, Rebel Stance. He wants to make it look like his master. Oh, Kanan. He's talking to David Tennant Droid while he's doing this. Oh, Kanan was your master? Yes, he was my master. He taught me everything. He taught me how to be the bestest tryhard in the world. These people are retards. We get more false, who cares, fanfic backstory of how Kanan was shy. He was inquisitive, but shy. Here, he took one thing when he made his lightsaber, because I'm David Tennant droid, and I've been thrust into all this stuff to make you think that I've been around the Jedi for thousands of years. I was making Jedi lightsabers before you were born. Do you understand how retarded all of this is? It's Dave Filoni rewriting Star Wars lore to fit his bullshit agenda. That's what this is. Disregarding everything George Lucas so he can have his time in the spotlight, because George can't rein him in anymore. So it's all to have us see like, oh look, tryhard Ezra is making his lightsaber look like Kanan. I hate this. This is disgusting. It's an insult to Star Wars. And meanwhile, throughout the whole conversation, 12-year-old boy in Beskar armor is watching with smug look at and then when Ezra ignites his really short lightsaber, have you noticed that all the lightsabers in Dave Filoni's Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, they're all short. The blades aren't very long. They have size issues. They need to go see somebody. Oh, and look, Ezra's lightsaber is blue now. What does that mean? I don't know. I guess he just found a blue goddamn kyber crystal in Ahsoka's collection that she magically has ready. Now, again, point this out. They did all of this for some bullshit Dave Filoni lore bump so that Ezra can build a lightsaber, when they should be pressed and pushed for time to get to Thrawn. We've seen already in previous episodes, Ahsoka has lightsabers ready. She has a bunch of lightsabers on her practice room wall. Why not just take one of those? You're kind of pressed for time. Build one later. Just grab a lightsaber and let's go. But no, we then have to take time to learn why Ahsoka and Sabine, 8 episodes into the season, now we learn why she dumped her as a Padawan. Because after the Siege of Mandalore, after the raising of Mandalore, Ahsoka was essentially afraid Sabine when she unlocked her power, because that's how it works in Dave Filoni Star Wars. You unlock abilities like a video game. Oh, you've unlocked it. You've unlocked this ability. You have enough experience. Go to the skill tree and unlock your Force ability now. That's not how it works. You're Force sensitive or you're not. You don't just simply try hard and get access to the Force, because that's all Sabine did for 8 episodes. Try hard and get there. We learned that she didn't want to do it because she was afraid Sabine, when she unlocked her power, when she got enough experience, she'd go dark side and become a catastrophe. Because Sabine is apparently great and powerful. No, she's not. She's retarded. This whole thing is retarded. Sabine, when Dryhard Ezra turns around to ask Sabine, hey, Sabine, have you been practicing your lightsaber? And that's kind of the theme of the first half of the episode. Have you been training? Have you been training? Sabine goes outside, sees Ahsoka. Have you been training? I've been training, maybe. Okay. Before I get to the next bullshit thing that Dave Filoni just screwed all the zombies and everybody over on with his bad storytelling, they keep asking this whole time, Sabine, have you been training? Ahsoka says to Sabine, have you been training? Oh my God, according to Dave Filoni, Disney Star Wars time elapse, you've only been apart for a couple of days. It's only been a couple of days because it only takes hours to go from galaxy to galaxy, and Ahsoka was only drowning and having a hallucination for only a few hours. It hasn't been weeks and months. Have you been training? Have you been training? Have you been training? I've been training. Only being a Jedi is more than just having a lightsaber. You notice they got to get that in there. They got to try and twist the lore. God damn it. All right. Sabine goes outside. They go through that whole training thing. Let's skip to the good part. Sabine looks at Ahsoka and says, I'm sorry, because they're talking about, we're going to get Ezra home. And I'm afraid he might not get home, but we might not have found him if not for you, Sabine. And then Sabine says, I'm sorry. Remember, we've been wondering for 4 episodes now what was going to happen when Sabine had to explain to Ezra what she did to find him, allowing Thrawn to return to the Star Wars galaxy, and then having to get her punishment for betraying everybody, for becoming a villain for her own selfish desires, which is not very Jedi-like. Yeah, that never happened. We never had that moment of, I let Thrawn get here because I needed to find you, negating the sacrifice you made, try hard Ezra. And Ahsoka, I'm sorry. And you know what Ahsoka says? I know. There you go. Dave Filoni, folks. Dave Filoni does nothing to resolve a very important plot point. That Sabine betrayed everybody for a selfish desire. Betrayed the person she was going to save. She betrayed no punishment, no repercussions. I'm sorry. It's okay. I forgive you. And that's it. There's nothing more. And then Ahsoka gives a nice big long speech of, we all make mistakes. I made so many mistakes that my master, Anakin, remember Anakin? Anakin, he understood, though, because that's the thing between a master and a Padawan. They know you so well. I know you meant well. Yeah, all of Ahsoka's mistakes in Clone Wars didn't exactly bring an end to the galaxy. Yeah, it set up a lot of porno situations. If you know, you know. But she didn't exactly end the world. She didn't exactly betray anybody. This is Dave Filoni, Disney Star Wars, folks. No depth, all shallow. Because Dave Filoni couldn't write that conversation of, I'm sorry, you were wrong. You have to accept your mistake, Sabine. You have to pay for something. No. Dave Filoni, one, doesn't know how to write that conversation. And two, he's a coward. He would never, ever allow Sabine or anybody in this show, no Whammons, has suffered any repercussions for any of their bad decisions whatsoever in this show. Nothing. They have a nice little conversation. And then Ezra comes outside and says, hey, guys, only to say, oh, look, here come the 2 TIE fighters that Thrawn sent. Here they come. They start to shoot shit up. TIE fighters actually have some power to their lasers. Their lasers. They got some power. Ship gets banged up. It's starting to fall. So Ezra and Ahsoka go under the ship to force keep it from landing on the shell people. Why the ship was hovering over the shell caravan, I don't know. Then the fighters go around for another pass, and Sabine goes to the cockpit, does some funky shit, and tells them to wait for it, and then now we boost it, and this is beautiful. Okay, first of all, if we understand everything surrounding Thrawn, he had the best of the best as his crew, as his soldiers. These should be best of the best TIE fighter pilots. And we know they're not undead because of the reaction they're going to have in a moment. Sabine uses Ahsoka's dumbass ship as a projectile weapon to crash through the TIE fighters as though that's how it works, which of course it isn't. That should have destroyed the wings of her ship. That ship should be a burst of fire in the air. That's not how it works. And the TIE fighter pilots just go like this. They don't try to dodge it. They don't try to do anything. They just take it and die. Now, TIE fighters have no shielding. That's a bit of lore fact. TIE fighters don't have shields. But that's why they have their maneuverability. So they're compact. TIE fighter lore for another day. Then and the ship crashes and everything's fine. The ship crashes, no explosion. Sabine walks away. Now, I go back to what I said at the beginning of this segment. Why didn't Thrawn send an entire squadron? If Thrawn sends the entire squadron of TIE fighters, this is over. This is done. Even if he loses 2, the others will come in and just strafe everything because there's nothing they could do. Because these tryhards can't use the Force. They can't do that. Ahsoka's not going to grab a TIE fighter out of the air. She's not that strong. Tryhard Ezra sure as hell ain't that strong as Sabine. Well, Sabine's first figuring out how to do it in this episode, but suddenly she's going to be great at it. Standard Mary Sue Whammons bullshit. Girl boss power. Here we go. Right. We go back to Thrawn, who finds out. Oh, well, first Ahsoka's. Now suddenly they're worried. How are we going to get to Thrawn in time, guys? How are we going to get there? We're not going to make it because apparently they're not too far away. Ahsoka says, "Don't worry, we're going to get there." They're gonna get up on the whole. They're gonna get up on the rat, dog, horse things and mosey on off and just get there in minutes. They're gonna get there in minutes, guys. God damn, those rat, dog, horse things are fucking fast, aren't they? Thrawn is now getting ready. When they don't hear back from the TIE fighter, he says, "Prepare for a ground assault because I know Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. I know her master. I know what she's gonna do." Frontal assault. Okay. They're gonna... Team Ahsoka arrives. Team Tryhard arrives. And you got here right away. This is great because you saw it when they were leaving, but now we get a close-up. Ezra's riding bitch to Sabine. "I'm going to have my arms around her waist, and I'm going to let her drive it." I mean, wait. First of all, Ezra's the one who's been on this planet for however many years. You would think he would have more experience riding the rat, dog, horse things. Not to mention, Sabine is the one packing ranged weapons. She's got 2 blasters. It would make more sense that the person who can do ranged attacks would be riding bitch. But nope. You gotta have Ezra ride bitch. You got to have the Manzel be in distress or set up to be in distress, because there's a count here. I count 3 times in this episode where Sabine saves Ezra. We're coming to it. Right. Team Tryhard goes after the Star Destroyer while it goes after the Chimera while it's docking with the Space Donut Ring of Destiny. Thrawn says, "Open fire." So the Star Destroyer opens fire. The Chimera opens fire with its turbo lasers. Turbo lasers! Meant for ship-to-ship combat or planetary bombardment because of the damage it does to stationary objects from orbit. They're trying to use turbo lasers to hit tiny little things in comparison. Turbo lasers do not have that kind of accuracy. Doesn't matter. Open fire. We need to see the tryhards dodging and going like this and using the force. And Ezra, open the door. Sabine, help him. As they try to force the door open. Meanwhile, again, I will say, send out the TIE fighters. Send out your TIE fighters, and this is over. No. Thrawn's going to try and hit with turbo lasers and send out Night Sister Girl Boss with a bunch of night troopers to stall them even longer. But I thought last week's plan to keep them busy was all the waste of time that we needed. Are you seeing the pattern here? Thrawn's an idiot. The tactical genius is an idiot, wasting his resources constantly so that he could just escape like a normal supervillain of the week in some other dumbass show. This is ridiculous. Well, Team Tryhard evades the turbo lasers, what a surprise, and gets inside, and then let the bad choreography begin.
Fall back. Draw them out.
You cannot look at that and tell me it is not cringe as F, man. The movement of Rosario Dawson as she goes to defend against Bowser bullets. What do you have, a load in your pants? Seriously, we'll get back to this. They're inside. Thrawn says to Night Sister Girl Boss, dispatch the night troopers. You go do your thing. It's time. I'm gonna go get the Night Sister Girl Boss great mothers to get ready for their thing. And here come the night troopers. They're all shooting, and you see, there's the clip. You saw the clip. They're defending. It's awkward. It's terrible. There's no grace. It's not dynamic. The word here is dynamic. It is lacking life. It is lacking that pizzazz, that thing, that je ne sais quoi that makes a Jedi look awesome as they weave a lightsaber to block shit. This is awkward. It's stilted because Rosario Dawson can't do the movements, and neither can the other two, but they're going, Eventually, Ahsoka tells Sabine, blasters! And she starts shooting. Then, all right, they make short work of the night troopers. Everything seems great. They're going to move along. Thrawn, however, has gone up to the Night Sister Girl Boss Great Mothers, tells them to do your thing. Everybody's been waiting for this to happen. We all knew it would. They turn them into undead troopers. Yay. Now Team Tryhard has to fight the undead troopers. And here we go. As they're being pushed back because every time they knock them down, they just get right back up. Ezra, good old Tryhard. Oh, he's a great Jedi. He's better than Luke, everybody. Ezra doesn't sense a couple troopers coming up behind him. One grabs him. Oh no, I can't get out. Sabine, help me. Sabine ganks a couple as they come through, and when she can't get a clear shot, she has to get her lightsaber out and gank him like that. Wow. Sabine saves Ezra, number 1. It seems like Ezra completely forgot his Force Kung Fu now that he has a lightsaber in his hand. What about all that awesome Force Kung Fu he was using last week? It's gone. It's not there anymore because guess what? It was for that situational moment to try and make him look like a badass. I don't need no lightsaber. But now that he's got a lightsaber, he's a loser. Well, let's be honest. Tryhard Ezra was always a loser. They now slash all the door controls to keep them from getting in. Ezra has to... Affirmation time. Ezra goes, nice moves. Ahsoka goes, she's been training. Sabine looks at Ezra and says, have you been training? What about you? Ugh. Dave Filoni, everybody. Disney Star Wars. Right, moving on. They continue the run and chase. Closing doors, they go down. Thrawn turns to Night Sister Girl Boss, tells her, it's time for your sacrifice. You have to go down and delay them even more. Because I'm Grand Admiral Thrawn, the greatest genius in Imperial history after Palps. And I'm out of ideas. You just go with your glowing green sword and stall them even more with more undead night troopers. And she does it. I do everything for you, for my admiral, for the Empire, for Dathomir. Oh my God, making Dathomir more important than it is. It was important in one book. One book, it was important, and then it spawned important characters after that. But Dathomir, it's not that important. It's not that important. Right, anywho. But Dave Filoni, it is. We're going to get to that later. Here comes Night Sister Girl Boss. There she is. Oh, it's Night Sister Girl Boss versus Ahsoka the White. The battle you've been waiting for because Ahsoka couldn't beat Balin if she tried. And, well, Dark Bangs, emo Jedi girl, she's not a problem at all and she's effed off. Oh, don't worry, we're going to get to her. They have their fight. Ahsoka tells the Tryhard duo to go on, get to the Star Destroyer, stop Thrawn. I'll deal with this, guys. It's as if Dave Filoni and Disney and all the zombies think that this is some sort of important fight. This is a fight we want to see. No, it isn't. I don't want to see two middle-aged women with zero athleticism doing this. Cringe. Cringe. That is awful. I was a fencer in my youth. I know what it takes to move agilely, to actually properly have swords, or foils in my case, be in the right spot. Now, granted, this isn't fencing, but the movements for swordplay are kind of all the same. Footwork's important. But all these two are doing is going... A lot of spin moves, a lot of wide arc movements, leaving openings all over the place, because that's what these choreography morons in charge of it think a sword fight is. It's terrible. This is god-awful and ugly as hell. Now, they're going to fight. We're not going to spend time on this because all it is two middle-aged women with zero athletic ability moving back and forth, swinging swords. Meanwhile, Thrawn, he's getting ready to move out. That's fine. That's just setting up another scene. The two tryhards arrive at the point where the Chimera is humping Space Minister Tirith. Yet they're stopped by two guards who just start shooting at them. They try to block it, and instead of deflecting it, because I guess, they're not that good at it, they dodge around, and two separate fights ensue with Tryhard Ezra and Tryhard Sabine fighting these two guards. Ezra quickly tries to fight him, does a really stupid spin move for no reason. Why he isn't shot in the back during that, I don't know. Plot armor, I guess. He gets disarmed rather easily, and he ends up in a fisticuffs fight with the fake trooper guy. I don't even know what to call these guys, where he gets in trouble. Sabine also gets in trouble. She starts trying to shoot this thing, doesn't work, manages to shoot off part of its helmet to reveal that it's an undead creature in there. She eventually loses her helmet and drops her lightsaber which has survived everything else she's been doing. Now it decides to fall off her belt. You see where this is going. Ezra's in trouble. Sabine is also in trouble. Undead trooper has got her chokehold up against the wall. And now, payoff, everybody. Sabine's been trying to force telekinesis everything all season, guys. And now that she leveled up and put the proper experience points into her force skill tree, now, well, here it comes. And combined with saving Ezra, number 2. That payoff would matter if Sabine actually had force potential, if she was force sensitive. But no, she's not force sensitive. But in Dave Filoni, Disney Star Wars, if you try hard enough, you can do it. So finally, it's a payoff for retards. If you watch me on Saturday Night Drive-In with my friend Jed, Hollywood Scholar, we talk about setup and payoff all the time when it's done well. This is setup and payoff for retards because it's setup and payoff on a false foundation of lore and logic. Therefore, it's pointless. It's all for self-satisfying jerk-off moments to satisfy a bunch of morons, zombies, and Dave Filoni's own narcissism. That he could do this, that he can turn any one of his characters into a Jedi because he feels like it. Well, as you see, Sabine does a very Last Jedi thing. Like they were turned on off to kill the head Jedi. And then saves Ezra. You saw it. Ezra was in trouble. The guy had him. But nope, Sabine gets that shot off to make sure she saves him so he gets enough time to pull his own lightsaber in and finish the job. But the Chimera is lifting off. We have to stop it. We're going to ignore the fight still going on with the two middle-aged women. Sabine tells Ezra, we have to do this. Ezra's indecisive. The man is indecisive. The only male in this situation can't make the decision to force leap into the Chimera hangar bay with only 2 stormtroopers there. Sabine tells him, Ezra, you have to do it now. We have to do it. It's only going to get harder because if you force jump, I'll then push you. Because now she's magically proficient in Force telekinesis because she applied the appropriate skill points in her Force skill tree. Ezra, after being shouted at by Sabine just to do it, because Ezra, God forbid, Ezra makes a decision on his own. He Force jumps, is not going to make it, and then Sabine Force pushes him all the way. He barely makes it, manages to get himself up over the edge of the hangar, throws one Force trooper off. Let's forget, throughout this whole thing, he's completely forgotten how to use his Force Kung Fu. We gotta remember that. His Force Kung Fu is not applicable in this situation because he needed Sabine to save him a moment ago, and he needs her to save him right here for number 3. Sabine shoots the other stormtrooper as it gets the drop on Ezra, who forgot about his Force Kung Fu. Ezra says, Sabine, come on, jump over. Sabine's about to, but then she hears commotion behind her because, meanwhile, Ahsoka has lost ground against Night Sister Girl Boss and all the undead troopers. She's retreated all the way back up here. Sabine is torn. Do I go with Ezra? Do I help Sabine? Oh no, what do I do? Sabine looks like she's going to go help Ezra, while Ahsoka is brought to her knees. Uh-oh. Is Ahsoka in trouble? I mean, no, it's her goddamn show, I think. Not just a girl boss, you're going to die and you're all alone. She gets that super villain line in. No, she's not alone. It's Sabine. Sabine didn't jump over to join Ezra. She stayed with Ahsoka. Isn't that awesome? Isn't their whole master-apprentice Padawan relationship great? Because the show's been trying to tell us for episode after episode after episode how important the master-apprentice relationship is. They have a special bond. Don't you understand? Sisterhood, especially here. Sabine then becomes badass and untouched. That plot armor lasted for 8 episodes, baby. Not a ding, not a dent, not breached at all. She made it 8 episodes untouched. She's all badass. Ahsoka and Night Sister Girl Boss go at it again. Ahsoka loses one of her lightsabers. Now she's got to single blade it, but it doesn't matter because she'll make sure that her sword is in position every time. Night Sister Girl Boss's sword is supposed to be there. Great choreography. Eventually, after they tumble around a little bit with more awkward middle-aged woman choreography movement, Ahsoka disarms Night Sister Girl Boss and slashes her across the stomach. Apparently, that's enough to kill her. I'm surprised that a Whammons died so easily. I really am. She's dead. Ezra watches helplessly because he's a man. And of course, he's helpless to help the women. Only the women can help the men. The men can't help the women. He has to watch from the hangar bay. And all he can do is then hear that there's reinforcements coming from the stormtroopers and tell them, don't worry, it's okay here. And clearly, he's going to put on the stormtrooper armor because remember, that's what Ezra does in Rebels. Ezra put on stormtrooper armor so he can hide. Remember, that's a Rebels thing. Sabine and Ahsoka are in trouble. There's too many undead troopers there to deal with. What do? Of course, the most obvious goddamn thing in the world happens now. They leap off Space Ministerial Tower because, of course, by now, Hu Yang and the Shell people have fixed the dumbass ship. And there they are, the dumbass ship. Long story short right now, they get on the ship, they chase Thrawn into space. Thrawn opens up a channel so he can taunt Ahsoka about how she's a worthy opponent, how he knew her master. She's so much like him, so much so that she might become him, and maybe it's better that she's a Ronin. Oh, I'm Dave Filoni, I'm going to throw in another samurai term. And she's a Ronin left to be out here in the wilderness. And then he F's off, because, oh, what a surprise! Thrawn escaped. Are we surprised? After 8 episodes of, we gotta stop Thrawn, but we have a movie coming, so Thrawn has to get back to the galaxy somehow. Thrawn escapes. Sabine and Ahsoka are trapped on Peridea. They go back and hang out with the Shell people. Ahsoka turns around after they're having a little powwow time and sees the Mortis Owl, because Dave Filoni's trying to butcher and wedge that in there and steal more EU stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. Meanwhile, back in the other galaxy, because I guess time is again, no time needs to be recorded in terms of passage. Everything just fast travel. Thrawn and his people get back, obviously. Ezra steals a shuttle, because it's Ezra. As a shuttle arrives back at the Coruscant fleet, of course, they just let a shuttle fucking dock. I mean, seriously, they just let this fucking shuttle dock. Oh, we don't know anything. Let's just let it dock so we can have Hera and her band of morons with weapons drawn come out to the hangar. They let the shuttle dock. They let the passengers disembark in Stormtroop armor. They're all hesitant. But then the try-hard R2 chopper rolls up going, because it's Dave Filoni, so of course it's retarded. Takes off the helmet. Of course, it's freaking Ezra. It's all Dave Filoni once again, he shafts his own zombies. All they've been screaming about for a week is, I need Ezra to hug Hera. I need them to hug and cry. I need this. Oh my God, I need it. That's all they've been doing for a week. I swear to God, go look at X Twitter. That's what they do, because they're weirdos. I need it. All he does is get off and says, hi, Hera, I'm home. And she just looks, again, Mary Elizabeth Winstead can't emote to save her life here. And then as he's walking towards her for a probable hug, it cuts away. It cuts away. I love it. Thank you, Dave Filoni, for making me a believer in how much of a crap creator you are. Thrawn has arrived at Dathomir, because Dathomir is so freaking important, because he made the Night Sisters more important than they were. The Night Sisters and him are there, obviously, with the cargo that are obviously hibernating Night Sisters in stasis. And they're going to start a whole new Force Legion, a Dark Force Witch Legion, whatever. And then we're back on Peridea. While all this crap music playing, the soundtrack to this is appalling. The people who are in charge have been running over Twitter saying, we're so proud to be this. Quit your day job. Go learn to code. You can't write music. You're trash. First, you get Bang's emo Dark Jedi girl, who apparently didn't go with them, which explains why she wasn't a part of the assault defense moment. She's gone back to the Nomads with her lightsaber held high. I'm going to lead you, Nomads. You're now going to follow my girl boss ways. Why? I don't know. Because, surprise, she's had 0 character development in 8 episodes. All these people simping for her, all these weirdos simping for her online. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't evolved. She has 0 character. She's a blank slate. She's a plank of wood, both in terms of acting, emoting, and character development. She speaks in 3 to 5 word sentences, most of them being, yes, master, what are we going to do? No. But now she's apparently been developed enough as a character that she's decided, for reasons unknown, to go lead the Nomads. Okay. And now, again, you saw this at the opening clip of the video. Baylan Skoll is searching for the thing that's calling to him on this planet. He's standing on a giant statue. Oh, look! It's the father and the son, the Mortis gods. A broken statue of the daughter there. Look, Dave Filoni's referencing the only good thing from the Clone Wars, which was written by George Lucas. The Mortis Blade arc, the Mortis arc, which plays a very large and important role in Fate of the Jedi in the EU. First of all, this is retarded for many reasons. One, the Mortis gods are DED dead. They're dead. They're not coming back. They can't come back. Ahsoka may have seen the Mortis owl thing earlier in this episode, but they're gone. They can't come back. Oh, but Ahsoka has the essence of the daughter, so she could be the light side god, and Anakin's supposed to be the one for balance, and then I think they wanted Starkiller to be the dark side. It's all retarded. It's retarded. But no, here you are. There's the Mortis gods. The father's pointing off in the distance. And remind you, it's very reminiscent. Very reminiscent of Lord of the Rings. We've talked about it earlier. We're not going to rehash that. Fucking hack. And it's pointing off to something blinking in the distance. Now, a lot of people have been saying this for a while. I've laid off it until we had some evidence to back it up. I've agreed with what I've seen. And here's the take. It looks like Dave Filoni's going to rip off the expanded universe again and bring in Abeloth. Abeloth. A chaotic force entity that only the son and the daughter could keep in check. But they're dead. And that's, we'll talk about it one day when we get to Fate of the Jedi. He's gonna bring in Abeloth. It looks like he's going to bring in Abeloth. That's who's all the way over there. God damn you fucking hack. Fuck you, Dave Filoni. Fuck you. And Baylan Skoll, let's remind everybody, Baylan Skoll, everybody's favorite, R.I.P. Ray Stevenson, but Baylan Skoll, the most interesting character in this series, who we know nothing about. We don't really know anything about him. We don't know his history. We know he survived Order 66. At one point, Thrawn called him General Skoll. What did he do? What are his motivations? He has fondness for the memories of what the Jedi Order was, but not its weakness, and now he's going off to seek his thing. He wanted to bring back Thrawn. It sounded like at the beginning he wanted to join Thrawn's empire for a new thing, but now he's effed off on here to go possibly release or meld or combine with Abeloth. We know nothing, but he's the greatest thing. He's the most interesting thing. We know nothing. No. What all of you liked was Ray Stevenson's performance because he's the only guy who showed up to act in this show. Everybody else, no ability to emote, no ability to act. He's the only one that showed up. That's what you liked. You liked his performance. You don't like Baylan Skoll because there's nothing to Baylan Skoll. He's this thick. He's thin. He's paper. He's nothing. And now, with Ray Stevenson dead, and Disney always so careful about recasting, they'll recast a white guy in a second. He'll be recast. You'll get some more Dave Filoni bullshit, and you'll get some crap later on with him and Abeloth probably. But Baylan Skoll is nothing. Nothing. You're nothing. Right, now, back to nighttime. It's camp. Ahsoka and Sabine are kind of happy in their setup. Oh, we did the right thing. You got him home. I've already been over this. But then their conversation is freaking pointless, so we're just going to skip right to the one last stab in the eye to actual Star Wars fans. Sabine thinks she sees something. Ahsoka says, what? Oh, no, it's just trick of the light. Shadows moving in the night. Ahsoka looks at it over there for a minute, and as they're walking away, and as the camera pans away and pulls back, oh, look, Force Ghost Anakin. Let's just shove Anakin in here one more time to make you have the feel-goods and the fifis get stirred up. And he seems to smile with contentment. Oh, my. Shameless. Shameless. But we're done. Huzzah. There you go. That's Ahsoka, everybody. 8 episodes and a waste of time. Horrible writing, horrible direction, horrible characters, no character development, horrible choreography, shit music, shit CGI, shit design, shit story. None of this is good. None of it makes sense. These characters are all morons. Thrawn, the greatest tactical genius ever in the Empire, is an idiot. TIE Fighter Squadron 2 episodes ago would have solved everything. Disney Star Wars is crap. I don't need to recap. I've been pretty good this entire review talking about how everything in this was bad, so we're just going to end it on this. Disney Star Wars is a dumpster fire. But it's a dumpster fire I'm going to keep watching because I'm going to document how bad it is. Clapping seals, They're going to share, they're going to talk about their emotions, their fifis with this, but they'll never actually discuss these points on how nothing makes sense. They love this, but it's all pointless. Why? Because all roads lead to the sequel trilogy and Jake Skywalker. If Thrawn was so great and massive, his army of Night Sisters are going to be so awesome. Baylan Skoll is going to find Abeloth. Ahsoka is probably going to fight Abeloth in place of Luke and actual real Jedi and Star Wars characters. All that's going to happen and means nothing. By the time you get to sequel trilogy, nobody knows it happened. There's no record of it. No commentary in those 3 movies at all. One, because also Disney Star Wars never had a plan. Jar Jar Abrams, Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, none of them had a plan. Dave Filoni, he has a plan. He's going to steal, warp, corrupt, and pervert real Star Wars and eliminate it so that only his remains. This is ridiculous, it's boring, and it's pointless. It leads nowhere. This show was created to make a minority happy so they can touch themselves while they watch this and go, oh my God, Ahsoka, oh, I saw Anakin in Clone Wars, oh, Ezra's home, guys, they got him, they found him, Hera's mother, that's what this was for. That's who this was for. Tiny little stand base who have no reach and no effect on anything. Just look at the ratings. There'll be a bump for episode 5, but no one cares. No one cares. And it's only going to get worse. Leslie Headland's The Acolyte is on the way. I'm excited for that. That is going to be an agenda tornado, a tempest, a maelstrom, a typhoon, a hurricane. It's going to be everything that this was on steroids. And I cannot wait because it's just going to burn all of this down faster. I hope you all have enjoyed my reviews of this. If you did, watch them all. Hit those like buttons. Leave comments. I want to hear from real Star Wars fans, the true passionate ones. I care what you think. SJW stands and fake fans, you can just kiss my ass and be triggered and cry in a corner. I didn't do this for you. I did this for real fans. I did this for normies who need to know what's going on. Again, if you had a good time, hit that like button. I will see you guys next time. Check out my channel, subscribe. Until then, take it easy, and may the real Force and real Star Wars be with you. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at theranernerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @theranernerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.